you're watching this on the replay, then it means that this was extreme sewing tight, I guess. I don't know. I cannot sleep at all. I keep falling asleep and waking up, and now I woke up and I'm like wide awake. So I wonder if I can adjust my light so that you can see my face a little better. I don't know. I don't know if I can. Can I? No, I can't see. I cannot. That's just how the light's gonna have to be. Oh. Well, that's better. Okay. But if I just... No. Okay. Hello, if you're here. I don't know if anyone will actually watch this because it's at such a bizarre time. But I'm very bored and not tired at all. I'm in a different place. I'm house sitting, so it's one of those like, oh, I'm in a new place where it's unfamiliar, and my brain's like, you can't sleep here. So it won't happen tomorrow night, but it's gonna happen tonight. So yeah, I've been trying all my tricks to fall back asleep because I've got like maybe 2 hours of sleep, but nothing's working. I'm super awake. Nothing's working. I'm hungry, but I don't want to eat because I know that will like 100% wake me up, and I don't want that. Feel free to say hello in the chat if you're here. Oh, I see people joining and being like, what the heck is happening right now? I hope you can hear me okay. Yeah, I cannot sleep, so here I am. I thought I'd try this. I don't know. I'm trying everything I can. Live streams can make me really sleepy if I whisper a lot, so I thought maybe this would help. And I could talk to people that I don't normally talk to because this is at a totally different time from when I'm live. So yeah, I am just chilling here in this bed. I have to be very quiet because there's people sleeping in this house. So I can't even like get up and walk around or anything if I wanted to because I will wake up people because this is an old house and the floors are very squeaky. So I'm just kind of stuck here waiting for the sun to rise, I guess. I don't know. So how is everyone? If you're watching this, I assume that either you can't sleep or you're in a place where the time is a normal time, like daytime. So if you're here, let me know where you're watching from and let's hang out. And let me know if you can hear me because I'm very quiet right now. I tried like reading usually winds me down, but it's not really doing it for me. I don't know why. Oh, I yawn. That's a good sign. I hope I'll be able to fall back asleep tonight. I don't know. Because sometimes when this happens, I just like don't sleep until like 10 a.m. So anyway, if anyone's out there, I'm just like talking to myself right now. But that's cool, I guess. It'll help me sleep. And yeah, hello. This is lo-fi, so I can't really like make noises or anything. So it's just my voice. But I don't want to be too loud either because there's people sleeping, so I would like get my notebook over there and make some paper sounds, but that's gonna be too loud, I think. So it's just me. Again, if you're here, let me know where you're from and maybe some tricks to help me sleep because I certainly need it right now. I take a medication that makes me drowsy, but it literally just puts me up for like an hour. It's great for naps, but it's not strong enough to keep me asleep through the night. Let's see. I guess I can read out loud again. Grab my tablet. I was trying to do research for Egypt. And, yeah, it's not working. So why don't there's my face now that I have my tablet. I could read some facts to you guys in a whisper. I don't know, sometimes I do this to myself and it helps. Hey, David, you're from Italy, unluckily. Why is that unlucky? That sounds wonderful. I wish I was in Italy right now. What's wrong with Italy? I don't know. Let's see if I can find facts about Italy on here. Let's see, let me search it on this facts website. Italy. Let's see. Rome facts, Italy facts. There we go. Okay. Some Italy facts. Alright, here we go. Rome is Italy's, first fact. It's just good to vacation. San Francisco's kind of like that too, sometimes. Alright, first fact. Rome is Italy's capital city. People also call Rome the Eternal City since it's already 3,000 years old. Established in 1871, Rome is the biggest city in the country and is home to numerous landmarks, such as the Trevi Fountain and the Colosseum. Next fact. Oh, thanks to whoever liked the stream. This bizarre stream. Next fact. Italy shares its longest border with Switzerland. Other countries that it shares borders with are France, Austria, and Slovenia. I was trying to watch ASMR facts videos to fall asleep, and it worked for a minute, but then I woke up after half an hour. So I'm kind of in a facts mood right now. Next fact. Italy is home to two other independent states. The first one is the Vatican City, which is only 0.17 square miles big, while the second one is the Republic of San Marino at only 23 square miles. Next fact. Stromboli, the lighthouse of the Mediterranean, is in Italy. It is one of the 7 volcanic islands that consists of the Aeolian archipelago off the northern coast of Sicily. Moreover, Stromboli is iconic due to its steady, towering glow. Next fact. The history of Italy traces back to the peak of the Roman Empire. Back in 117 CE, Italy's territory stretched from present-day Spain to modern-day Iraq in the west. It also covered Great Britain in the north across the Mediterranean Sea, down to Egypt and North Africa. I am from San Francisco. I'm out of town right now, house sitting, and it's very quiet and I'm not used to it. I'm used to the noise at night. So yeah, next fact. Italy was one of the European countries ravaged by the Black Death in the mid-14th century. Returning Italian merchants from the Middle East carried a combination of plagues to Genoa, the most notorious one being the Black Plague. Italy's recovery from the disease ushered the growth of the country, leading to the generation of humanism and the Renaissance. Next fact. Over 26 million people left Italy from 1861 to 1985. Most of them came from the then overcrowded southern region, seeking out a better life. However, only 1 out of 4 returned home. David, what region of Italy are you from? You don't have to tell me specifically, but just like the region. It's just good for vacation. That's very funny. Next fact. A royal family ruled Italy until 1946. In the wake of World War II, the citizens voted against the monarchy rule in favor of a republic. Oh, Piedmont, that's cool. Up in the north, that's neat. You know what's neat is that we have a city called that in San Francisco, like to the south of San Francisco, but we call it Piedmont. But it's spelled exactly the same. I wonder if it's because a lot of Italians live there. I don't know. But yeah, it's Piedmont, I believe, in Italy, or Piedmont. I'm not sure. But then here we say Piedmont. Anyway, the last king, Umberto II, only ruled for 34 days, from May 9th, 1946 to June 12th, 1946. Next fact. The Italian flag bore influence from the French flag. The Italian flag has 3 equal vertical divisions with the colors, green, white, and red. Some say that the colors represent hope, faith, and charity. However, another interpretation paints green as the Italian landscape, white as the snow-capped Alps, and red as the bloodshed that paved the way for the independence of the country. Next fact. Italy is a member of the Group of 8, or G8. This governmental political forum consists of the 8 most powerful nations in the world. Alongside Italy are the United States, Canada, Russia, Japan, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. Next fact. Oh, I knew this one already. Read the pods of these days. No, thank you, David, that's depressing. Next fact. Plus, I've been reading a lot about what's happening over in the UK with politics. So I'm kind of politicked out right now, reading what Liz Truss has been up to, or what Liz Truss has not been up to. But moving on. Italy was the first city in Europe to have paved streets. After getting its first paved street in Florence in 1339, I'm sure the Medicis paid for that, right? Italy became the first European country to have a paved street. Other territories of the falling Roman Empire abandoned road paving projects, fearing that it would only help enemies charge faster. Next fact. In the 1500s, the first violin surfaced in Italy. The first violin was believed to come from Andrea Amati's workshop in Cremona in the 1500s. Eventually, the city became home to Antonio Stradivari, or that's how we say it in America, Stradivari, the most famous maker of violins. Next fact. Italy suffers the most earthquakes among European countries. The 1693 Sicily earthquake killed around 100,000 people. Moreover, the most recent one that shook the country in 1980 in Naples killed at least 3,000 people. Next fact. Europe has only 3 active volcanoes, and all of them are in Italy. I'm sure they mean mainland Europe, because they definitely have active volcanoes in Iceland, right? And in European Russia, but that's another story. They are Vesuvius, Etna, and Stromboli. What's more is that the location of the Italian peninsula is directly above a fault line. Another thing that Italy has in common with California. We're very similar in a way. Next fact. San Marino in Italy has the oldest republic in the world, dating back to 301 CE. San Marino also has the oldest continuous constitution in the world. No way. Back then, it only had less than 30,000 citizens called the Sammarinese. Wow. I'm going to cover San Marino in 2 weeks on my channel, so I'm excited to learn more about that. I thought the oldest constitution still in use was the United States. But next fact, Italy has the highest peak in Europe and France. The Alps are a mountain system that spans 8 countries in Europe. Its highest point is found in Italy, where the Monte Bianco, or White Mountain, reaches a height of 15,771 feet. Next fact, Italy is home to the longest land tunnel in the world. Oh, you've been to San Marino, David? That's cool. You only know a little about it. Me too. I'm excited to learn more and show it on my channel. The Lochberg base tunnel runs 22 miles connecting Italy to Switzerland. Next fact. Vatican City in Italy is the only nation with the ability to lock its gates at night. The Vatican is highly independent with its own radio and TV stations, phone company, stamps, and even currency. Vatican City also enforces the historic Swiss Guard as its own army. I didn't know they were an army, I just thought they were there to protect the Pope. They're an army. Hey, Slammy, you have to get up in 20 minutes. Well, I'm happy to keep you company for the next 20 minutes, Slammy. I don't think I'm falling back asleep either tonight. It's almost 3 in the morning here. I have to get up in like 4 hours anyway, so whatevs. I'm reading facts about Italy. Next fact is that Italy has the second lowest birth rate in the West. Political and church leaders have since taken measures to increase the country's birth rate, offering rewards for couples who have more than one child. Yeah, I wonder, because the Swiss guard the Pope, I didn't think they were like the army. Like if someone tried to invade Vatican City, would like the Swiss guard mobilize and attack? I don't know. I thought that they used the like Rome police to monitor like the outside of St. Peter's, but not like the inside, the gardens and all that. Anyway, next fact. The World War II bombings only left one bridge standing in Italy. The Ponte Vecchio Bridge across the river Arno in Florence. Rumor has it that Hitler found the bridge too beautiful to destroy, thus sparing it. Well, it is a very beautiful bridge, isn't it? It's like a little village on a bridge. It's so pretty. If anyone watching this doesn't know what the Ponte Vecchio is, it's gorgeous. Look it up. Next fact. Italy has the most UNESCO World Heritage sites. They use the police, yeah. I know they use the police for like pickpockets and like minor crime outside the Vatican, but like if you went to war with the Vatican. Anyway. With 47 cultural sites and 4 natural sites, Italy claims the title for the most UNESCO World Heritage sites of any country. That might have increased lately because I know they added a bunch at their conference last spring. So like, I think they added a couple more Italian ones, but they still have the most. Next fact, this one everybody knows. Opera originated from Italy. Because of this, many famous operas were written and performed in Italian. The list includes Giuseppe Verdi's Aida and La Traviata and Ruggiero Leoncavallo's Pagliacci. Additionally, Italian tenor soloist Luciano Pavarotti made the libretto more accessible to the masses through working in the three tenors. Hey Federico, you're working in Rosario, Argentina, on the Paraná River. Oh, cool. I'm glad to hear that, Federico. Good to see you too. I'm reading facts about Italy. Hey, Slayer of Lore is here too. Hey, you've been leaving the nicest comments on my channel lately. I really appreciate it. Thank you. The most interesting concrete. Slayer, I think you're like a concrete person. You would know. Concrete gang. Next fact. There were 3 Italic tribes. The Latins, Oscans, and Umbrians settled in the country from 2000 BCE. The Etruscans followed in 800 BCE. Eventually, the Greeks established the Magna Graeca colonies in southern Italy, which is modern-day Apulia. Oh, that's interesting. I knew that the Greeks settled southern Italy, but I didn't know that their places are like modern towns. Next fact, Rome was founded in 753 BCE. After its founding, the Romans claimed full territory over the peninsula. Next fact, I knew this one too. In Italy, the Sardinian islands have a rep for being home to witches. The local witches brew health potions and remedies for the locals. These women communicate in a secret language that they pass on to their daughters. Just perfect fact there. That's the best. Next fact. It is customary for Italian men to live at home until their 30s. This condition is regardless of them having their own family and job already. In Italy, the family is at the heart of society. Familia. In America, we call that, we call that the Olive Garden. When you're here, your family. If you don't know, because I don't think there's a lot of Americans here. It's a really terrible but delicious Italian restaurant. Oh my goodness, you're all talking about concrete. That's so. Wait. Roman concrete has the most organic form. It's living organisms in it. And it's made with seawater. That's really cool. That's neat. Next fact. For a time, Italians finished school at 14 years old. From 1904 to 1999, they only went to school until the age of 14. Now it's compulsory for them to go to school until they're 16. Next fact. 18-year-old Italians can vote for the Chamber of Deputies. The Chamber of Deputies is the lower house in the parliament. Italian citizens should be at least 25 to be able to vote for the Senate. Oh, that's interesting. There's like layers down. You can vote. You guys love concrete. I should be reading facts about concrete next, shouldn't I? I want to read this one though. Next fact. Benito Mussolini tried to rid the Italian language of foreign words. The Italian fascists governed the country from the 1930s to the 1940s. During this time, Mussolini banned borrowed words even in pop culture. Mickey Mouse became Topolino, Donald Duck became Paperino, and Goofy became Pipo. A goal in soccer became Meta instead. How's that for crazy Italy facts, it says. Only tradespeople keep my hours. Oh my gosh, you're so right. You're You're so right. I didn't even think of that. Hence concrete talk. Well, I'll try to find facts about concrete after this article. Oh, it's really long. Okay. We're gonna move on to facts about concrete. No, you want Italy facts. Okay. You don't want to hear about your job. Okay. We'll stick to Italy then. Go back to where I was. Alright, next fact. Hey, Bites here, playing Minecraft, listening to me whisper about Italy. Cool. You guys are funny. Thank you for keeping me company this late at night. I'm sorry I can't talk any louder than this. I'm gonna wake up people. But next fact. The most iconic authors in Italy were all part of the three fountains. I Costruzioni. That's so cool. Its members of the three fountains were Dante Alighieri, Giovanni Boccaccio, and Francesco Petrarch. Some even claim that they're the three most famous Italian authors of all time. Next fact is Dante is considered as the father of the Italian language. Dante's Divine Comedy, or Divina Commedia, not only impacted Italian literature, but it served as a great contribution to the Italian language. Okay, let me elaborate on that if you don't know. Dante lived in Florence, Firenze. During his time, every area of Italy had their own dialect of the Latin language. So Dante was absolutely a Chad. I'm getting to that. So he wrote the Divine Comedy in the Florence version of Latin, which then spread throughout Italy, and people started speaking that, and that's what morphed into modern day Italian. Also, yes, Dante wrote this story as a tribute to this girl he had a crush on who got married and died, and he was like sad about it. He was also really upset that he got kicked out of Florence. So he also wrote everyone that he hated was in hell, burning and suffering horribly. The Divine Comedy is a self-insert fanfiction about his crush on this random girl that he barely even knew. She probably didn't even know he existed. A Chad. Next fact. Galileo Galilei was born in Italy. Galilei introduced the idea that the Earth revolves around the sun. His argument reportedly made the Catholic Church lock him in his own house. Eventually, they had to issue Galilei a formal apology in 1992, which was a bit too late by then for Galileo, who was house arrested for the rest of his life. Next fact. Church is like, oh hell no. The sun goes around the earth, obviously, because God created the earth. Why would he have it any other way? Obviously. Next fact. Northern Italy served as the setting of Shakespeare's Othello. Othello's storyline took place between 1489 and 1571. However, whether Shakespeare has actually been to the country is subject to debate. I don't think Shakespeare went to Italy. I don't think he ever left the country, to be honest. Maybe he went to France at some point, but he wrote a lot of his plays set in Italy, but I don't think he ever went there. Next fact. The Italian language is a Romance language. The Italian language traces its origins from Vulgar Latin, a dialect that people spoke during the last years of the Roman Empire. Moreover, it contains more Latin words than the rest of the Romance languages and has a grammatical system similar to Latin. In Vatican City, Latin remains the official language. That's cool. Next fact, the Italian language serves as the universal language of music. The term scale originated from scala, which means step. Other Italian musical notations are allegro, andante, presto, and vivace. I think it's vivace in English. I'm not sure. I'm not a music person. I can't read music. Next fact is that the Italian alphabet only has 21 letters. Italy's alphabet does not include the letters J, K, W, X, and Y. Bye, Slayer. I'll try to get some more sleep. I already had some sleep, but I can't fall back asleep. Have a good day at work, and I'm sure you'll leave comments in my video tonight, something, and I'll see you then. Next fact is Italy considers the Italian wolf as its unofficial national animal. The Italian wolf has played a remarkable role in the legend of the founding of Rome. Yes, with that, baby Romulus and Remus were raised by a she-wolf, and they went on to found Rome, mostly Romulus, because he killed his brother Remus. Next fact, the lily is the national flower of Italy. Still, many locals perceive the rose as the traditional symbolic flower of the country. I'm feeling this getting me a little sleepy, so that's good. Is anyone else feeling sleepy, or are you just vibing playing Minecraft? Next fact is the pre-dinner evening stroll, or passeggiata, is an essential part of Italian culture. It remains among the most long-standing leisure activities in Italy, where locals would stroll along the streets to see and be seen. The pre-dinner stroll. I always do a post-dinner stroll to help me digest the food. Hey, Shrisha. I hope that's right. Shrisha. Hello. I'm reading facts about Italy to try to help me fall asleep. And maybe help anybody watching fall asleep too. I don't know. Next fact is that Italy celebrates Christmas as its biggest holiday. During Christmas Eve, people celebrate with a huge feast, usually featuring seafood. It's 12 a.m. Alright, you have to go to lunch. Well, enjoy your lunch, David. Thank you. The Christmas season would pursue until January 6th, the Epiphany, or the day when the three wise men reached the manger of Jesus. The next fact, see you, David, sorry. David, you can come to my live on Monday if you want. It'll be a little earlier your time, but anyway. Shrisha is in New Zealand, 11 p.m. Well, it's bedtime for you. Let me read you some facts so you can fall asleep. Next fact is the most popular sport in Italy is soccer. Football, right? San Siro Stadium in Milan is a famous game area and could hold 85,000 guests. Moreover, Italy's team is second only to Brazil, winning 4 World Cups in 1934, 1938, 1982, and 2006. Is anyone gonna watch the World Cup in like a month and a half? It's gonna start, right? Any predictions? I predict that America will not win. That's all I know. Next fact. In Italy, soccer fans are called tifosi, which means carriers of typhus. They earned this name due to their display of rousy behavior and lack of inhibition during soccer games. Okay, how interesting. Next fact. Italy has a reputation for being one of the fashion industry leaders in the world. Since the 1950s, famous Italian designers like Valentino and Nino Cerruti have pioneered in creating iconic fashion styles. That's how we say those in America. Otherwise, it's Valentino and Nino Cerruti. Next fact is that Italy is also known for its universal brands. I'm going to say more in my American accent and I'll say it in Italian. Italy's celebrated designers include Armani, Gucci, Prada, and Versace. Even in the fine sports cars category, Italy also holds bragging rights to Ferrari and Lamborghini. So in Italian, those would be Armani. I have to use my hand. Gucci, Prada, Versace, Ferrari, and I actually don't know how to say Lamborghini. Lamborghini. I'm not sure in Italian. Next fact is that Italians claim they were responsible for the rest of Europe learning how to cook. Among the foods that trace their origin to the country are coffee, fruit pies, and ice cream. Italy also joins Belgium and France as pioneers of cooking French fries. Next fact is that Parmesan cheese traces its roots to the city of Parma in Italy. Alright, more cheeses, or I'm going to say the cheeses in my American accent. Italy also created other cheeses such as mozzarella, ricotta, provolone, and gorgonzola. So in Italian, I assume it's mozzarella, ricotta, provolone, and gorgonzola. I don't know. It's all in Italian. Anyway, next fact is that Italy has a different version of the pepperoni pizza. In Italy, pepperoni is not salami but peppers. Hence, placing an order of pepperoni pizza in the country might bring forth a vegetarian pizza. I didn't know that. I love pepperoni pizza. Next fact, in Genoa, pesto sauce is an exception to plain liquid laws. What? Their airport limits up to only 3 ounces of liquids per passenger. Still, Genoa has designated a special pesto container for their precious specialty. Definitely one of the cooler Italy facts. I guess that's because they're famous for pesto, so when tourists come, they want to bring home pesto. But it's a sauce, it's a liquid, so they allow pesto on the airplanes. That's funny. Next fact is McDonald's was not easily welcome in Rome. When McDonald's first franchise in the city opened in 1986, food purists protested outside. They gave away free spaghetti as a reminder of their culinary heritage for their fellow countrymen. Best protest ever. You walk by and they're like, don't eat McDonald's, have some spaghetti. Yes, that sounds great. Next fact is Italian tradition does not include putting meatballs in the pasta dishes. Most Italian meals have pasta as the first course or primo piatto, followed by meat or fish as the main course or the secondo piatto. I know that because if you order Italian meatballs, it's just a meatball in sauce. Like it's not in spaghetti or anything. Next fact, latte is an entirely different drink in Italy. Placing an order of latte in the country would most probably bring forth a glass of milk. On the other hand, a latte macchiato refers to milk with espresso. Here, where I live, we usually say espresso, but it's espresso. That's funny. I never thought about how latte just means milk. Because it usually means with milk in your coffee. Oh, that's funny. Next fact is the Uffizi Gallery in Italy is one of the world's oldest museums. Located in Florence, the Uffizi Gallery was established in 1560 for Cosimo I de' Medici. Among the famous works in this museum are those of Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Botticelli. Next fact: the University of Rome stands as one of the oldest universities in the world. The University of Rome is also the largest university in Europe, with a population of 150,000 students. The Catholic Church founded the university, which is also known as La Sapienza, in 1303 CE. The next fact is that Italy is home to the oldest university in Europe. I know this because I had a friend that did a study abroad here. The University of Bologna has observed continuous operation since its establishment in 1088, making it the oldest active university in Europe. Next fact: the Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of the main attractions in Italy. Since its construction in 1173, the Leaning Tower of Pisa has begun to lean due to the poorly laid foundation. Where's my, oh, they all left. All the concrete guys left. They could talk more about this, but they already left. The Nazis even used it as a watchtower during World War II, although engineers have exerted reconstruction efforts in 2008. They eventually declared that the Leaning Tower would still be stable for at least the following 200 years. Next facts: Roman Catholicism is the dominant religion in Italy. Other than the 85%, that's a weird sentence. Oh, I see. Other than the 85% Roman Catholics of the country's population, there are still minority groups like Jews, Protestants, and growing Muslims. Next fact: the number 17 is unlucky in Italy. In Italy, 17 is considered an unlucky number because of an anagram of the Roman numeral XVII, VIXI, which in Latin means I have lived. While this may be positive, the statement has the implication of I am dead. Hence, some hotels in Italy don't have a 17th floor. Oh, that's so interesting. So many different countries have different unlucky numbers, and they don't have like hotels on that floor. Like in America, we don't have a 17th floor. In China, no, they don't have a 7th floor. And in Japan, it's 4. How interesting. That's the only ones I know off the top of my head. I'm sure there's many, many more. Next fact: Italians consider it unlucky to have 13 people sit together at the dinner table. They acquired this superstition from the 13 people seated at Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting, The Last Supper. And there's a little tiny, tiny picture. Come back. There's a tiny picture of the Last Supper. Next fact: Italy has hosted the Olympic Games 3 times. First, it was the 1956 Winter Games held at the Cortina d'Ampezzo and the Dolomite Alps. The 1960 Summer Olympics followed in Rome. Lastly, for now, is the 2006 Winter Olympics held in Turin. Oh, last fact: Marostica, Italy witnessed a real human chess game in 1454. Instead, wow, this is cool. Instead of fighting a bloody duel, the contestants of the human chess game would win the hand of a beautiful maiden. The town began commemorating the event each September of even-numbered years. For this event, the main piazza of Marostica became a life-size chessboard. That's super cool. I wonder how you determine who's going to be what piece. Alright, so, Srisha, if you're still here, you can pick another country or topic or whatever. I'm gonna look through and see if I can't find. I wonder if there was facts about concrete on here. Let me see. there isn't. Okay, that guy would have been happy. Here's why were chainsaws invented. This is facts about chainsaws. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading this, but there are so many facts about chainsaws. Ooh, Iceland. That is a great idea. Let's do Iceland. You can hear my Icelandic after hearing my Italian. Iceland facts. Alrighty. First fact. Also, what do you think if I had something like this as a series on my channel? Just a thought. I thought about doing it for a while, but there's so many other fact channels out there. I don't want to, take their audience, Anyway, first fact. Winter in Iceland is not as cold as you think. It's really good. I'm glad. This is what I do when I can't sleep, so you get to join me tonight. Winter in Iceland's not as cold as you think. While its name may suggest otherwise, Iceland isn't too cold compared to other northern territories. During the majority of the year, Iceland experiences windy, cloudy, and cold weather. However, its cold winds mostly come from the North Pole, which gives it a chilly climate. Additionally, the ocean also tempers the country, which prevents it from being as cold as other northern territories. On average, Iceland experiences winters around 0 degrees Celsius to 2 degrees Celsius, while the North Pole is an average of negative 10 degrees Celsius. Yeah, that's not terribly cold. That's as cold as it gets here, like the coldest of the cold. Not an average, but the coldest days would be 0 degrees Celsius here, usually at night. Yeah, thanks to that Atlantic Gulf Stream, Iceland's not that cold. Next fact. The flag of Iceland became official in the year 1915. Designed by Matthias Thor. No, please hold. Not sure how true it is. Their life expectancy is more in Iceland. I wouldn't be surprised. I wonder if there's a fact about it in this article. Alright, Matthias Fjordarsson. Iceland's flag mainly features the colors blue, white, and red to represent the country. The blue color of the flag represents the mountains of Iceland, while the white color represents the ice and glaciers in the country. Additionally, the red part of the flag represents fire, symbolizing the volcanic activity that occurs every few years in the country. First shown in a parade in 1897, Iceland officially adopted its flag in June 1915. At sea, the flag's been used since December 1918. Next fact. Iceland has no city with a population of over 1 million. Because of Iceland's low total population, no city in the country exceeds 1 million residents. The most populated city in Iceland is its capital city, while other cities in Iceland all have populations under 100,000 residents. The least populated city in the country is called Bergamus, while the most populated city is Reykjavik. There needs to be more Icelandic ASMR artists out there because their language is just so beautifully tingly. Next facts. Iceland has 7 different regions. Throughout Iceland, its regions include West Fjords, West Iceland, the capital area, Reykjanes, South Iceland, North Iceland, and East Iceland. Each region of Iceland differs slightly from the others in terms of culture and terrain. Next fact. Iceland uses a currency called the Icelandic krona. Iceland is also the second smallest country in terms of population to have a currency as well as monetary policy of its own. The currency can also be referred to as the Icelandic crown. This currency uses both banknotes and coins and is often mentioned when discussing topics regarding the financial market. It's a great sense. As of September 2020, $1 US equivalent to around 138 Icelandic krona. Next fact, you can watch the Northern Lights in Iceland. The Northern Lights can be seen in any part of Iceland from September until April the next year. However, this also depends on weather conditions for that day, which may affect the visibility of the lights in the city. Due to its longer and darker nights, the best time to see the Northern Lights lasts from December until January. Now there's one of the Iceland facts you'd want to see for yourself. Next fact. Iceland has numerous hot springs. The country of Iceland has over 45 different hot springs locations that allow both locals and tourists to swim and enjoy the water all year round. Aside from hot springs, Iceland also has around 200 available public swimming pools. These hot springs are more commonly located between the two diverging tectonic plates in Iceland. These tectonic rifts make them closely involved with volcanic activity. Next fact. Iceland has a beach filled with only black sand. The black beach can be found on the south coast of Iceland called Reynisfjara. As the name suggests, the beach features a stunning view of black sand caused by volcanic ashes from previous eruptions. Wow. During these volcanic eruptions, the molten lava makes contact with the seawater, causing a violent reaction. The lava rapidly cools down in the seawater, which immediately breaks it down, turning it into debris and sand. That's so awesome. I like that fact. Next fact. Elephant Rock is one of the most famous rock formations found in Iceland. Hey, Norsky, just in time for facts about Iceland. The Elephant Rock lies on the Westman Islands, a few kilometers from the south coast of Iceland. This rock formation features a basalt rock formation in the shape of an elephant. Many locals associate this rock formation with the legend of a mythical sea elephant petrified a long time ago. However, others believe that this rock formation comes from a volcano called Eldfell, which has erupted numerous times for hundreds of years. Cool. Next fact. English counts as a second language in Iceland. Because of this, a majority of Icelanders can speak fluent English. I've always kind of wondered why everyone in Iceland knows English. I guess they learn it in school. Some Icelanders can also speak numerous other languages such as Danish, French, German, as well as Spanish. Most Icelanders are also considered very open to learning other foreign languages, including sign language. Next fact. You've been to Iceland and you got to see the geyser. That's awesome. I would love to go to Iceland. It sounds lovely there. Next fact is, as a country, Iceland has a 99% literacy rate as of 2018. There's one outlier. There's like 5 people in Iceland that can't read. The literacy rate refers to the percentage of the population above the age of 15 that can read and write. In 2018, Iceland's literacy rate had a 0% increase from 2015, which makes Iceland one of the top countries with the highest literacy rates in the world. Definitely one of the more admirable Iceland facts. I like the commentary in the article. Next fact. Iceland ranks high among the healthiest people in the world. Oh, Trisha, maybe this is. It does talk about it here, like you mentioned, the life expectancy. As of 2019, Iceland ranks 3rd as the healthiest country in the world. Additionally, the life expectancy for men and women reach an average of 82 years old. Wow. Further research shows that this high life expectancy is due to its clean environment and eating habits. Aside from these factors, Icelanders also have easy access to clean water and air, which allows them to live healthier compared to other countries. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? They live in an ice world where they have lots of water and fresh air. Next fact: Iceland is also known as the land of fire and ice. So it's true, isn't that cool? We answered your question, Trisha. Iceland is named as such due to many of its islands being formed as a result of several volcanic eruptions over millions of years ago. The ice part of this moniker also comes from the many glaciers that can be found in the country, which makes it one of the most intriguing aspects of Iceland. This geology is also unique to Iceland, as no other countries experience the same geological phenomena that Iceland does. How's that for cool or hot Iceland facts? Funny, funny, funny. Next fact: around 11% of Iceland is covered in glaciers. Throughout the country, Iceland has approximately 269 named glaciers of nearly all types. These include ice caps, outlet glaciers, mountain glaciers, as well as ice streams and cirque glaciers. I didn't know there were different types of glaciers. I just thought a glacier was a glacier. The largest ice glacier can be found in Vatnajökull, spanning an area of 8,300 square meters. These glaciers also greatly contribute to the economy of Iceland as tourist attractions. Next fact: a legal drinking age in Iceland is 20 years of age. In terms of drinking laws, Iceland strictly practices these policies in drinking establishments and liquor shops. To enter clubs in Iceland, you also have to be 20 years of age and show proof of identification. However, it's important to note that some establishments don't allow those under the age of 22 to enter clubs or consume alcohol. Compared to the rest of Europe, Iceland has one of the highest legal drinking ages. I was just thinking that, like, Europe, they start at like 16. Here in America, 21 is the drinking age. So that's kind of high for Europe. But good for them to not allow young people into their clubs. Drink responsibly. Your brain's not fully formed till you're 25, and the more alcohol you drink before that, the more brain damage you can get. So be smart if you're under 25 in my audience. There's not a lot of you according to the analytics. Most of you are over 30. Hey, Rock ASMR, you can't sleep either. Well, welcome. We're reading facts about Iceland right now. The next fact is more than 60% of Iceland's population resides in the capital city. As the northernmost capital city in the world, Reykjavik has a population of over 123,000 despite its small size. This is mainly due to the larger amount of jobs available in the capital city compared to other regions in Iceland. There are also more services offered in the capital where the younger population lives. The majority of the elderly live outside of the capital cities in the care of doctors or their families. Next fact: the national sport of Iceland is called handball. Iceland's national handball team has been more successful over the years compared to other sports teams in the country. There are also more Icelanders that play handball internationally than in other sports. Handball is typically played with teams of two where the players throw and pass the ball using their hands and try to score points. The ball must not touch their feet, and the team with the most points at the end of the game counts as the winner. So it's like soccer, but like the complete opposite of soccer, where you can't use your feet, you have to use your hands. That's fun. Next fact. Icelandic horses are the only breed of horses found in Iceland. Despite their name, Icelandic horses also have a reputation worldwide. These breeds of horses typically work in traditional sheep herding in Iceland, aside from the usual leisure and racing. They use their horses to herd sheep. That's cool. They don't have sheepdogs. I don't know. Originally taken to Iceland by Norse settlers during the 9th and 10th century, these horses have since been mentioned in several historical texts and records. Compared to other breeds, these horses are known for their heavy coats and two unique gaits. Next facts. Iceland has the longest working weeks in Europe. On average, Icelanders work around 45 hours a week, making Iceland one of the most hard-working countries in Europe. Business hours in Iceland generally range from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but may switch from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. during the summer months. Because of this, Icelanders also take longer vacation periods, with some lasting up to 4 weeks long. Next fact. 1 out of 10 Icelanders will publish a book in their lifetime. One of the coolest Iceland facts is that it produces the most writers out of any other country in the world. Around 10% of Iceland's population would publish a book during their lifetime due to how common publications are in Iceland. There's also the Icelandic phrase "ad ganga med book í magnum," which means everyone gives birth to a book. Oh, I like that. This makes publishing in Iceland a thriving yet highly competitive industry. That's so true. Everybody has a novel inside of them. Somewhere, there's a novel inside of everybody. Next fact. Iceland was considered to be the last place on Earth to be inhabited by humans. I don't know how true that is. Anyway, geologically, Iceland is still considered to be young and was not settled by humans until 874 CE. The first settler was known as Ingolfur Arnarsson, who settled in the city of Reykjavik. Additionally, many of the first settlers in Iceland were considered small lords and kings from Norway. Historians state that these royalties settled in Iceland to flee from the tyranny of Harald the Fair-Haired, who wished to unite Norway under his command. I need to change. Now I'm sitting a little bit. There we go. I need to stretch my leg. Oh, there's a big Icelandic word in this next fact. I'll do my best. Next fact. Iceland has only one forest, despite its unique geography. Halormstaðaskogur. I hope. Halmstaðaskogur is the sole forest that can be found in the country of Iceland. This forest is also considered as the country's national forest. Since the year 1905, this landscape has been placed under a protected status due to other forests unable to grow back due to sheep grazing. Yeah, I thought the Vikings cut down all the trees to make their ships, and then they cut down the rest to graze sheep, herd cattle. So how interesting that there's only one forest left. Wow, that was a big yawn. That's a good sign. Next fact. Iceland is also considered one of the most eco-friendly places on the planet. The country of Iceland is considered the world's largest green energy producer per capita. Iceland is also the first country in the world to adopt a regional waste treatment plan and recycling system. Nice. This in turn allows Iceland to keep its environment clean and free of any pollutants. Next fact. In Iceland, babies are left outside to take naps. may sound like a parent's nightmare, but it's a common practice in Iceland to leave babies outside to nap, where often these babies can be found left in streets, backyards, or on balconies. This is because Icelanders boast of their ability to handle freezing weather well and raise their children to be able to handle the same temperatures as them. This practice is also observed in other European countries such as Sweden. Wow, okay. They like train their babies to endure the cold. That's wild. Next fact. The Icelandic language, I know it's crazy, right? Icelandic language remains unchanged from ancient Norse. Dating back to the 9th century, Icelandic goes back to when the first settlement of Iceland occurred. The oldest preserved text written in Iceland dates back to the year 1100, where it is considered to be greatly similar to the language of ancient Norse. Since then, the language system has not changed drastically, which allows many to be able to easily read ancient texts. Next fact. I've been waiting for this one. Iceland has several legends and stories that involve creatures like elves and trolls. In Iceland, it is considered common for Icelanders to believe in elves and other similar creatures. A 1988 survey once revealed that over 34% of Icelanders believe in the existence of elves and trolls. Additionally, a similar result also occurred when the survey was done again in the year 2000. How's that for curious Iceland facts? Next fact. Icelanders do not use any family names or surnames. This is true. Instead of using a family name or surname, Icelanders make use of patronymic or matronymic references to themselves. An Icelander's name will typically reflect their father or mother's name. Additionally, this name does not refer to one's historical family lineage. This is similar to the naming system used by Vikings when they first settled in Iceland. You thought Santa was from Iceland. He's from Finland, but yeah, he's up there in the cold somewhere. But now he lives in Finland. Yeah, so this is really cool. So like Leif Erikson, that means that his dad was named Eric, and his dad was indeed Eric the Red. He was Eric, I think, Olafsson, meaning his dad was named Olaf. So if I was Icelandic, my mom's name was Julie. So I would be like Juldottir. It's really neat. Until the year 1989, Iceland banned beer. Before the year 1989, Iceland strictly prohibited beer. At the time, Iceland still fought to gain independence from Denmark. Since they associated beer with the Danish natives, Icelanders developed a distaste for the beverage. It was only until March 1st in 1989 that Iceland legally allowed alcoholic beverages on a day now annually celebrated as Beer Day. On this day, several Icelanders would also drink non-stop, considering it the first step to becoming more civilized. Can you imagine? There's just one day a year where you can drink as much beer as you want, no repercussions. And just be careful, I guess. Next fact. First names are not used in Iceland must be approved by an Icelandic naming committee. In Iceland, first names that have never been previously used in the country must be approved by the Icelandic naming committee for legal use. Some criteria for approval include only using letters found in the Icelandic alphabet and having only a few exceptions for this rule. The name must also be able to fit with the Icelandic grammatical system as well. Additionally, names that are inappropriate for a certain gender were also banned until 2019 legislature allowed non-binary names to be used as well. Yeah, they have lots of rules for names there because of how their grammar and naming system works. It makes sense, but it's still strange. Next fact. Coca-Cola is considered incredibly popular in Iceland. The country of Iceland is considered to be one of the biggest Coca-Cola drinking countries in the world. On average, Icelanders consume around 30 gallons of Coca-Cola per year and have the highest consumption rate per capita. How's that for neat Iceland facts? How interesting. I used to be very heavily addicted to Coca-Cola, and I had to stop cold turkey. I haven't had a Coca-Cola since December 2015, and I miss it every single day. Oh my gosh. I've nearly cracked and drank Coca-Cola countless times since then. But I gotta stop because it was rotting out my teeth. I lost a whole tooth because of Coca-Cola, so no more. Next fact. In 2010, strip clubs became banned in Iceland. Considered one of the most feminist countries in the world, Iceland banned strip clubs to avoid any fronts of human trafficking and prostitution within the country. Let me try whispering like this, I'm a little bit louder. This has caused Iceland to lead in terms of women's movement and recognizing women as equal citizens. How interesting. Next fact. Icelanders watch more movies than any other nation in the world. To Icelanders, the cinema plays an important role in their everyday lives compared to other Nordic nations. Iceland has more cinema seats per capita compared to other Nordic countries, and also has one of the largest consumptions of Hollywood movies in the world outside of America. In 2016, a survey analyzed the frequency of Icelanders in movie theaters and found that each Icelander watches a film around 4 to 6 times a week on average. More commonly, these films are also not dubbed unless they're intended for children. Next fact. Iceland has the first openly gay prime minister in the world. Jóhanna Sigurdardóttir is considered the world's first openly gay prime minister and served in office for 4 years. She was considered popular amongst the general public and had good relations with the left-green movement in Iceland. She was also one of the first women to opt for same-sex marriage in Iceland with Jónína Leósdóttir. I didn't know she got married. That's cool. Next fact. Maybe they want to check if their book was made into a movie. That's so cool. They should do that. Oh my gosh, it would be like the biggest movie in Iceland if they made an Icelandic book into a movie. Next fact. Owning pet snakes and turtles is illegal in Iceland. Since the early 1990s, Iceland has imposed a ban on exotic pets to prevent possible outbreaks of diseases and their development. This was also done to keep isolated species such as the Icelandic horse from any type of foreign infections that may be introduced by these exotic animals. Very true. This is a long article about Iceland. There's so many, oh my gosh, there's so many more facts. I keep thinking it's gonna end and it's not. It keeps going. That's so cool. Next fact. Now that I scroll down too far. Oh wow, there's so many. Yeah. Next fact. There are no McDonald's stores found in Iceland. As of 2009, all McDonald's franchises have closed down in Iceland due to financial difficulties in the country. Since then, no McDonald's stores could be found within the country anymore. Next fact. Iceland also does not have any mosquitoes. Because of its weather conditions, mosquitoes are unable to survive in Iceland. However, despite this, over 1,300 types of insects can survive the climate in Iceland with no difficulties. Scientists state that they have yet to discover why mosquitoes are unable to breed in Iceland, yet can do so on other continents such as Antarctica. Is anyone one of those people that gets eaten by mosquitoes? Because I've never been I've gotten maybe 2 or 3 mosquito bites at a time one time when I was camping. But mosquitoes don't like me. It's very rare when I get a mosquito bite. Whereas my sister gets eaten alive by mosquitoes whenever she goes outside. She hates going outside in the early evening because she knows the mosquitoes are out. What are you guys like? Are you bitten often or not? I'm gonna go grab some water real quick from the sink because I've been doing this for an hour and 15 minutes, so I'll be back in 10 seconds. Hold on. Okie dokie. I have returned. Hello. Let's read some more facts about Iceland. Unless you guys want to swap to a different country, let me know. Pardon me. You got mosquito bites back in India. I can imagine that the mosquitoes in India are terrible because it's such a humid place. Here it's not humid at all, but we still have lots of mosquitoes. We get a lot of mosquito-borne viruses here too. Bubbles. Yeah, if you want to move on to another country, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll keep going with Iceland because I don't mind. I am either way. Next fact. Police officers in Iceland do not carry firearms with them. Iceland has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, which allows police officers to do their jobs without the need for firearms. More commonly, the police in Iceland only carry extendable batons and pepper spray with them while on patrol. Additionally, it is also legal for Icelanders to carry firearms with them. However, around 30 out of 100 residents will still carry firearms as a safety practice. Next fact. Around 85% of the energy in Iceland comes from renewable resources. The majority of the energy supply in Iceland comes from renewable sources such as geothermal energy. Because of this, Iceland is considered a leader when it comes to renewable energy and continues to improve this over the years. A large portion of the energy used by Icelanders also comes from hydro and wind energies that are stored in large generators and connected to major cities. Next fact. The telephone directories in Iceland list Icelanders alphabetically by their first names. Due to Icelanders not having family names, their contacts are listed in the phone book according to their first names. A Norse guy gets mosquito bites in the summer, but it doesn't bother you. It's just a little itchy. That's good that it doesn't bother you. I can't stand if there's something that itches on my body like that. I have to itch it immediately. It's bad. Additionally, Iceland also has a small population under 500,000 populace. Has a small population which would make finding first names simpler than their patronymic names. This is also done to reduce ambiguity when searching for a contact in a telephone directory. This listing also goes further by organizing these names according to professions in Iceland. That's cool. They still have phone books in Iceland. We have phone books here, but I don't know anyone that uses them. Next fact. Iceland does not have any military forces. The country of Iceland does not have a standing army. However, Iceland still maintains a military expeditionary peacekeeping force. Coast guards and a police force are also established, rarely experience any kind of threat or disturbance within the country. Next fact. A famous delicacy in Iceland is a raw puffin heart. Okay. I don't like raw food in general, but in Iceland, there are various ways to consume this delicacy. Many recipes also call for a variety of sauces and gravies that further enhance the flavor of this bird. The best part is considered to be the raw heart, which many consider an uncommon delicacy. Many describe the taste similar to smoked pastrami or boiled liver. I'm like really paranoid about meat. I don't eat anything raw that's meat. I like raw vegetables, but not raw meat. I will not. No, thank you. I'll pass on the puffin heart. Sorry. I'll just eat pastrami if it tastes like pastrami. Next fact. Iceland gained independence in 1944. On June 17th, 1944, Iceland officially achieved independence and assumed control over its foreign affairs. Gradually, Iceland continued to move towards their freedom from Denmark with the signing of the Act of Union. This allowed Iceland to be recognized as an independent state under the Danish crown. And they asserted their independence because the Nazis invaded Denmark, which controlled Iceland. So they were like, "We're out. No, thank you. We're done. We're done with you, Denmark. Bye." Next fact. Iceland holds the largest glacier in Europe. This glacier is named the Vatnajökull Glacier and measures around 2,110 meters tall. This glacier was named after a subglacial lake that is located in a volcanically active region where its center lies. It's also considered the largest glacier found in all of Europe, with an average thickness of 400 meters. This glacier also covers an area roughly measured between 8,100 square kilometers and 8,300 square kilometers. It's big. Next fact. Iceland has no animals that are considered dangerous to humans. The country of Iceland is considered to be free of any large predators which would be harmful to humans. Instead, Iceland only has small domestic animals present in the country, including minks, mice, reindeer, and wild rabbits. Unlike colder countries such as Antarctica and Canada, Iceland also has no native bears in the country, despite polar bears believed to be common in Iceland. Yeah, I guess I never thought about that, how there's no polar bears in Iceland. There's no bears in Antarctica either, but okay. Next fact, like literally, Antarctica's Greek for no bears. Anyway. Next fact, the sun never sets on Grimsey Island during the summer solstice. During these seasons, this is referred to as the midnight sun. This is mainly due to Iceland's proximity to the Arctic Circle, which allows the country to experience longer hours of sunlight than other locations. The peak point of the midnight sun in Iceland is generally during or around the time of the summer solstice in June. However, from December until January, Iceland only experiences around 4 to 5 hours of sunlight per day. Next fact. The Arctic fox is Iceland's only native mammal. These foxes typically live in the wild and hunt for small animals for food. The Arctic fox diet primarily consists of small birds and other animals such as mice and rabbits. With an estimated 8,000 Arctic foxes living in Iceland, they have unfortunately been hunted as a sport throughout history. Typically, these foxes do not travel in packs and are considered solitary creatures. Alright, I can feel my voice starting to go out, so I think it might be time for me to wrap this up. Let me find one more Iceland fact that sounds interesting. Because there's so many more. Let's see. I'll finish the article. It turns out that I'm almost done. Alright, I'll finish the article. Next fact. The crime rate in Iceland is considered one of the lowest in the world. This is often correlated with the country's high employment rate, as well as its high education levels. This means that due to the better living conditions in Iceland compared to other Western countries, Icelanders do not feel the need to commit any crimes. On average, the murder rate in Iceland also averages from 0 to 1.5 annually. A 0.5 person gets murdered. Due to these circumstances, Iceland is considered one of the safest countries in the world to live in. Next fact. Sheep's head is a common Icelandic dish. Why is my Instagram blowing up? Oh, someone's commenting on my post. Okay. Follow my Instagram, ASMR Geographica. Sheep's head is considered a traditional Icelandic dish that consists of a sheep's head cut in half. It is commonly boiled with its brain removed before being served. I was about to say, I hope there's no brain in there. You could get really sick off of that. At the time of its conceptualization, this was done to avoid wasting the parts of the animal as it is slaughtered. Oh, Bite got his girlfriend to play Minecraft with them. Yay. That's like an achievement right there. Girlfriend plays Minecraft. That's a keeper right there. I don't even play Minecraft. In turn, this avoids unnecessary waste and provides more food options for Icelanders. Next fact. In 2018, Iceland had over 2.8 million tourist visitors. According to Iceland's tourist statistics, this is a 5.5 increase compared to previous years, which indicates the growing popularity of the country among foreign visitors. Globally, Iceland is known for its beautiful hot springs and volcanic activity. Iceland is also considered one of the safest and friendliest places in the world, where tourism accounts for 10% of the country's total economic profits. Next fact. Oh, hot dogs in Iceland include lamb meat. I bet that's pretty good, actually. Icelandic hot dogs are considered to be quite different from the typical American variation. Instead of using pork or beef, Icelandic hot dogs make use of lamb meat with a small mixture of beef and pork. This is mainly due to the abundance of sheep that's found in Iceland. Oh no, we got a bot. Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I had a bot. Wow, check that out. Report. I haven't had a bot in forever. There we go. Report. Hide user. Yes. There we go. Awesome. It's been forever since we had a bot. How did I trigger that? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good hot dog, right? Sheep meat is also commonly used as Iceland does not allow the act of importing foreign meats and animals into the country. That's true. Alright. Bring on the bots for this fact. It's an achievement, I know. But I bet you anything another one's gonna come after I read this fact. Iceland is the only country in the world that has a museum dedicated to the male sex organ. The Icelandic Phallological Museum can be found in the city of Reykjavik in Iceland. This museum is famous for its sole feature of the male sex organ and its parts. That's what it says, by the way, I'm reading it verbatim. The Icelandic Phallological Museum is also considered to have the largest collection and display of penile parts and penises. The museum carries a collection of over 300 different penises from over 93 different male species found in the world. And this one belonged to Rasputin. Something about him wasn't right. Is his member somewhere in a museum? Because I wouldn't be surprised about that. Hey, Abigail. Yeah, I think I read about that in my Atlas Obscura. But I guess it's interesting. Anyway, next fact. About 30% of Iceland is made up of lava fields. The Eldron lava field is considered one of the most beautiful moss blankets on the southern coast of Iceland. The moss grows abundantly as a special trait of Iceland's lava fields. There is a Rasputin appendage in a jar somewhere. It looks like a malformed sweet potato. Oh boy, I have that in my head now. But anyway, enough about Rasputin. What a character. These lava fields are also said to be around over 9,000 years old and span for about 135 square kilometers long. This great field of moss is caused by several volcanic eruptions that have occurred in the surrounding area for centuries. Everyone's wigging out now about the pathological aspects of Iceland. Let me sit up a bit. I'm like slipping. I'm gonna hurt my back if I'm not careful. So, whew. This sweater is really hot. Next fact. Icelanders love their coffee. As of 2019, Iceland is ranked as the third highest country in the world in terms of coffee consumption per capita. On average, an Icelander will consume about 9 kilograms of coffee annually. However, despite their love for caffeine, Iceland has no famous coffee chains in the country such as Starbucks or Costa. Instead, many smaller cafes are established in most corners of the country where Icelanders can enjoy a good cup of joe to start their day. That's good. I don't think Starbucks is even that good, to be honest, but I don't like coffee. And we don't have Costa in America. I know they're like all over, like everywhere else in the world, but no Costas and no Breads also in America that I know of. There might be some Pret a Manger's, but nowhere near me. Most coffee's just blah. It's too bitter for me. I don't like it. I love tea. I like tea with milk in it, so it's not so bitter. Next fact. Whoa. Someone left a comment about hockey on my channel, so I had to read it. Okay. I love hockey. Also, people from Iceland love eating ice cream. In Iceland, ice cream is enjoyed throughout the year no matter the weather. For many Icelanders, they consider this cold treat their comfort food and produce a great amount annually due to their reliance on dairy cows for the majority of their ingredients. Additionally, ice cream is so popular in Iceland that there is even a term for going on an ice cream eating spree. Icelanders are crazy. The term is called ispiltur, which refers to the act of getting into the car for the sole purpose of getting ice cream. I love words that don't exist in English that have like a crazy long explanation. Ispiltur means getting into the car to get ice cream. That's the best. I love that. Next fact. Iceland has one of the most powerful waterfalls in the world. The Dettifoss waterfall is considered the most powerful waterfall found in Europe in terms of its volume of water. The waterfall stands at 45 meters tall and spans about 100 meters wide. Located on the Diamond Circle in Iceland, the average water flow of this waterfall also measures an average of 193 cubed meters per second. I'm not sure what that measurement is. We don't have that kind in America. This waterfall is also one of the most popular tourist spots in Iceland. There's a sound outside. It's probably just a creature or some kind crawling around. Or someone coming to murder me. Next fact. Every 3 to 4 years, a volcano erupts in Iceland. For thousands of years, Iceland has typically experienced large volcanic eruptions in 3 to 4 year intervals. The most fatal volcanic eruption to occur in Iceland is recorded to be the fires of Skaftá that occurred from 1783 to 1784. Oh, you got to see Dettifoss, Sky. That's awesome. I've heard it's so beautiful, but I didn't know it was the most powerful. You'd think the ones in Norway would be more powerful than Dettifoss, but it's really cool, apparently. The eruption occurred in the crater row of Lakagigar, which is a part of a larger volcanic system, along with the subglacial central volcano Grímsvötn. I thought, like, when was the last eruption? If it goes every 3 to 4 years. Like, the last one I heard about was the one in 2010, so there must have been one more recently. Next fact. Iceland has never waged any war in its history. In its entire history, Iceland has no recordings of ever participating in any full-scale wars or invasions. Officially, Iceland also remained neutral throughout the Second World War. However, Iceland has also been invaded by the British on May 10th of 1940, which the country was forced to fight against in defense. How interesting. I mean, they don't have a military, so it makes sense that they don't fight in wars. Next fact. You see, okay, there's 3 left. Next fact. Iceland consistently ranks as one of the happiest countries in the world. Many factors influence this ranking, such as the country's average health status, economic stability, and the quality of its environment. Overall, Iceland is considered to have a high life expectancy and an abundance of available jobs for Icelanders and foreigners. Iceland also has especially low crime rates, which makes the country one of the safest in the world. Education in Iceland is also accessible and produces one of the highest literacy rates in the world. Next fact. There are no railway systems in Iceland. Iceland does not have any form of a public railway system that is used as a public transport network. This is mainly due to the small population of the country, which does not require much transportation services. Instead, the main form of transportation in Iceland is by car or bus services. Walking and biking to your destination are also common options for Icelanders and tourists. Yeah, I know how to say it, but I forgot what it's called. The blada blada blada. It's like that. But yeah, it exploded and ruined like all the air traffic in Europe. I talked about it in a video on the weird atlas that I have of like weird events and weird maps. They had a whole map showing how far the cloud spread across Europe. It went to like Romania or something. It was crazy. Last fact of Iceland, and then I'm gonna go get some water and probably read more facts because I feel like I could keep going now. Last fact. In the 17th century, Icelanders would also burn witches like many other cultures. Much like other cultures, Icelanders believe in the power of witchcraft and feared those who were thought to practice it. However, unlike other cultures, Icelandic witchers were more commonly men instead of women. During the 1300s until 1720, witch hunts were considered quite common and practiced by many social groups as a form of protection for themselves. These witches would often be charged with trials regarding raising the dead and casting spells to cause storms and trouble to others. Wild. Okay, so in the chat, tell me what country you want me to whisper about next. I'm gonna go grab some more water. I'll be right back, but type what the next country I should whisper about should be. I'll be right back. Iran. Okay, cool. We'll do Iran next. let's do, excuse me, Iran. Iran facts. Okay, let's do it. Alright, first fact. Iranian weavers make a mistake on Persian rugs by design. This is to symbolize their belief that only God is perfect. These world-renowned rugs have been part of the Persian culture for more than 2,500 years. Good night, Trisha. You're very welcome. Sleep well tonight. Yeah, we'll see how much I get through this article, because it's long too. That's really neat about the rugs, though, that there's always a tiny mistake somewhere on them. That's cool. I like that. Next fact. Iran's official name is the Islamic Republic of Iran. This official name only started after the overthrow of the monarchy in 1979. From there, religious clerics led by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini assumed political power and renamed the country as an Islamic Republic. Next fact. Iran ranks as R.I.P. Mohammad Reza Shah says bite. Next fact. Iran, did he die in the revolution or was he just like exiled? I don't actually know. Let me know. Next fact. Iran ranks 18th in the largest countries in the world, covering a total land area of 1,648,195 square kilometers. Iran is slightly smaller than Alaska. Wow. Next fact. The Alborz Mountains cuts across Iran. From the south shore of the Caspian Sea, Alborz sprawls up to the east in the border ranges of the Khorasan region in Iran. He was exiled and died from cancer, that's true. And then Reza Pahlavi. Okay, that's true. I did know that, but it was buried so far back in here. My Iranian history, like modern history, is pretty far back in the brain. It's all Persian stuff on the front. Next fact. Due to the country's huge size, the climate in Iran varies on geography. By the Caspian Sea coast, the weather is typically cool with rain. Meanwhile, the southern region of the country is relatively hot and dry. Next fact. Most parts of Iran have an arid desert climate. Summers in the country are brutally hot, while the winters on equal extremes in freezing cold. The northern cities also have common snow during low temperature dips. Next fact. I could do this on my channel, like, imagine like a Fact Friday where I do this. That would be kind of cool. I'll think about it. Maybe in 2023, I'll start that up. Next fact. The highest point of Iran is the peak of Mount Damavand. Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea. At 18,605 feet, Mount Damavand is automatically the highest peak of the Elburz mountain range. Next fact. Iran is prone to frequent and violent earthquake activity. Records from the 20th century reveal that there were at least a dozen 7.0 or higher magnitude earthquakes felt in the country, unfortunately taking many lives, which is very sad. And I think about how, because I live in San Francisco and people are like, oh, aren't there earthquakes there? Aren't there earthquakes? Like, yeah, but nothing like that. The North Sky would love that too. All right. I think I'll make it a thing starting next year once I'm done with all the countries in the world. Sounds like a plan. People who live in areas where there's like hurricanes, like in Florida right now, are like, oh, I'd never live in San Francisco. They have earthquakes. And it's like, you guys are literally underwater right now. We never have earthquakes, especially earthquakes like Iran gets. But next fact. Iran only has one river that can be navigated by boat. Iran has 8 main rivers rivers, but only the Karun River is accessible to boats, and only for short distances at that. Next fact. Iran holds 10% of the oil reserves of the world. All of Iran's oil reserves almost equates to 125 billion barrels of oil. Meanwhile, 60% of the oil reserves of the world hail from the nearby Persian Gulf. Next fact. Iran utilizes a water supply system called Qanat. Since ancient times, the Qanat system involves the collection of underground water. It would then move through tunnels to reach the people in need. Next facts. Oh, it's time for ancient Persia facts. Yay. Iran counts among the oldest continuous civilizations in the world. Iran has been home to settlements and civilizations dating as far back as 4000 BCE. Heck yeah, ancient Persia. Crazy cool. Next fact. By the 6th century BCE, the Medes were the first people to unify Iran. Of Aryan origin, the Medes include the Magi tribe. I know it's not Magi, like it's in America it's pronounced Magi. I'll just say Magi then. Include the Magi tribe, comprised the powerful Zoroastrian priests. Next fact. The famous three wise men were members of the Magi tribe. I think it's Magi, but the three Bible characters who brought gifts to the newborn Christ in the Nativity story originated from Iran. In the 13th century, Italian explorer Marco Polo even claimed to have visited the three wise men's graves, which now rests in modern-day Tehran. I didn't know that they have actual graves. That's cool. Next fact. Persians make up a majority of the Iranian population. Comprising 61% of the population of Iran, Persians are the biggest demographic in the country. The Azeri follows at 16%, with Kurds at 10% and Lur at 6%. Baloch, Arab, Turkmen, and Turkic each comprise 2%, with other minorities making up the remaining 1%. Next fact. Iranians below 30 years old make up the majority of the country's population. Upon the Constitution of the Islamic Republic in 1979, religious leaders encouraged reproduction among younger married couples. They even cited a Quran tenet promoting support for young marriage and having numerous children. Next fact. The new regime in Iran offered incentives for having more kids. Among offers made by the Iranian government is the distribution of televisions and vehicles and food given per head. With these incentives, they made big families look more appealing. However, the program ended in 1988 due to the leaders' fear of the subsequent baby boom outgrowing the infrastructure of the country. They gave away way too many TVs, and then they're like, oh, snap, we gotta stop giving out TVs. We gotta stop. There's gonna be too many people now. Next fact. The cost of Iranian marriages was not a problem back then. Today, marriage will definitely empty your pockets. However, it wasn't always like that. Roll it back. They're dude. Make babies and get free stuff and money, sure. Get free food, awesome. However, it wasn't always like that for Iran. The government even offered to pay for mass weddings as another attempt to encourage marriage and procreation among young Iranians. Free wedding. Next fact. Iran prohibits same-sex union but allows sex change operations. Since its rise to fame in the country in 2008, I didn't know this, Iran ranked second only to Thailand in having the most sex change operations in the world. The Iranian government supports it by providing financial assistance. However, the government still prohibits same-sex marriage. Now that's very interesting. There's a story behind that. Next fact. Pierre Omidyar, the founder of eBay, is Iranian. Other notable people from Iran are news anchor Christiane Amanpour, Olympic silver medalist wrestler Mad Ghaffari, Expedia Inc. president and CEO Dara Khosrowshahi, and former Google SVP Omid Kordestani. Other household names that were established by Iranians are Bratz dolls, manufactured by Isaac Larian. Oh, that's so cool. And Hot Pockets, manufactured by David Mirage. I love Hot Pockets. I lived off of those as a kid. I started to eat them for breakfast. Oh my god, that's so cool. They technically came from Iran. If an Iranian person invented Hot Pockets. I wonder if there's an Iranian dish that's similar to Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets are the bomb. Yeah, I know, that's so awesome. I mean, it's probably an American Iranian. His name's David. But, I mean, still, technically Iran. Next fact. Many biblical figures are said to be buried in Iran. The list of Bible characters laid to rest in Iran includes Cyrus the Great, Daniel, Darius the Great, Esther, and Saint Thaddeus. Next fact. Iran holds the Guinness World Record for the largest hand-woven carpet. The Iran Carpet Company manufactured the largest hand-woven carpet for the Abu Dhabi Mosque in 2007. Its original size is 60,000.81 square feet, or 5,630 square meters. Now, I like that when a world record is set, not just because they wanted to set a world record, like they purposefully made this carpet for a mosque, and it turns out to be the world's largest carpet. That's really cool. Next fact. The record holder carpet was created in 9 parts to be assembled inside the mosque. However, some parts had to be cut off from the original size so it could fit onto the floor of the mosque. That's really neat. Next fact. Iran is home to the highest population of refugees in the world. From the turmoil of Afghanistan and Iraq, about 1 million refugees fled to Iran. A lot of them are migrant workers and are willing to work in exchange for low wages in the urban expanses of Iran. Next fact. The Iran flag should be hoisted at the right of the viewer. I love rules about flags. It features horizontal divisions of green, white, and red. In the center, it bears a red emblem with stylized writings lining the horizontal edges of the white part. The flags of Iraq and Saudi Arabia also feature writings reading from right to left. Alright, my computer's starting to die, so I might have to wrap this up. And actually, I think I'm going to end it there. How about this quick one? Poetry is a vital part of Persian culture. Iranians could recite lines from notable Persian poems like the Shahnameh or Epic of Kings. We find short ones. There's one about a condom factory. Hold on. Let's read that one. Where'd it go? Iran covers the only legal condom production factory in the entirety of the Middle East. Iranian citizens have free access to birth control pills, condoms, and even permanent sterilization. Wow. Oh, it talks about R words in here, so let's not. Like the Persian poetry, Chef's Kiss, the Shahnameh is beautiful. It talks about people R-wording other people in here, so there's about Salman Rushdie, who I wonder how he's doing. He was just attacked. But yeah, my computer's about to die. I have to go charge it. And I can't. it's complicated with the chargers here, so I'm gonna have to end this now. You're very welcome, North Sky. We'll do this again later, and I always stream every Monday night, no matter what. We do trivia. You can play along if you like. So yeah, I almost did this for 2 hours, so it's time for my computer to rest. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to lay down for a little bit more and try to sleep. I am feeling a little bit more tired. But thank you guys. Good night.